So here in Silver, which is crazy, the skill range in Silver is kind of insane. These two players have almost 7,000 and 6,000 games respectively. That's absurd. This is in Silver. This is in Silver.
That's a lot of games.
Pofke has about as many games as Kletos, for crying out loud. Has been playing this game forever.
Okay, that's a stat. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Realize.
Yeah, and skrewwl00se played in Shark Week. They both did yesterday. skrewwl00se had 23 wins too, so it's actually only a few wins out of the cutoff for the finals. When they played each other in Shark Week yesterday too, skrewwl00se won both, by the way. Right now, they're kind of both in the jumble in the middle of Silver, but Screw has a match unplayed comparatively. Pofke has played more of their matches and doesn't have as many, therefore relatively points-wise. So this is actually a pretty big match for Pofke if they want to stay in the Silver finals conversation.
Yeah.
This is big. This is more important right now for Pofke than it is for skrewwl00se to win.
All right. Well, let me run through the picks and bans real quick. So first up, we have the bans of skrewwl00se banning Balcony and Pofke banning Library. And let me pull up the screen real quick.
I am down for not casting Balcony.
There it is.
Hard to cast.
Yeah. Well, last time we cast Gallery, it was pretty crazy. Pofke, by the way, did pick Gallery 4 times last season. So skrewwl00se, I think, probably doing their homework there, trying to deny them one of their favorite picks. Nice.
All right. So we have skrewwl00se picking Gallery. Pofke picking Modern for the doubles, and then Ballroom for skrewwl00se, and then Courtyard for Pofke. Pofke, do we have a canon pronunciation of Pofke?
I think it's Pofke.
Pofke.
I think so, but they can let us know either way.
Alrighty. Well, we have our maps. We're gonna be heading into doubled gallery first.
Yep, right. Ready when you are.
All right. That's right. What is that flag next to Pofke? Is that the European Union flag?
I think isn't Pofke Lithuanian?
That's what I thought, but the little flag that I see does not look like the Lithuanian flag, unless I am wrong about what the Lithuanian flag looks like. So currently they get
a lot of flags. Oh yeah, a lot of flags look shockingly like each other. I know too, but they might have just chosen an EU flag too. People do have a little bit of agency on the flag choice, at least. So.
Well, let me.
But it is confusing. Yes.
I'll see if there is a EU flag. I don't actually see how to do it. But everybody know that there is a very pretty flag with a circle of stars as we head into the first game.
Good stuff.
All right. Perfect. Pofke on the Spy. In Gallery, any 4 of 8. skrewwl00se on the Sniper. In 3, 2, 1, play. And another 51% on the first flirt. This time, though, we're at Green Bookcase for it, so we might be able to do some shenanigans here.
Yeah, it's early, and it's in the place where you usually get away with even a white microfilm if you time it well. There's plenty of occlusion from that conversation.
Nope, no shenanigans.
Decides not to try to flirt with Smallman there.
Yeah. Interesting decision.
Well, might have been worried that he was going to leave.
Yeah, that's true. Flirts can be difficult to pick up on this map, though.
Yeah, I do think that spies, though, have an underdeveloped sense of how long AIs stay at these pads. They stay at them longer than window pads, as far as I can tell. They could stay at those pads, Gallery, for a very long time.
That is true. Definitely chasing Smallman all the... What? We just had safety off for a second there on Duke. No shot to speak of as of yet.
I'm going to guess/hope that was unintentional. Not really sure, though.
85% on the flirt now. Lots of progress, but no missions yet.
And that's going to be a problem on Gallery. We've said this before. Players underestimate how much they need to move around on Gallery. Almost every time.
Absolutely.
Really good players.
At least.
And that helps at least, yeah. Because one bad flirt, one flirt bail, one ST leaving as you decide to walk outside towards them can ruin your whole game.
Time out at the front. skrewwl00se zoomed in. We like to see those.
It's good because the guest list and the ambassador are back there, and Skrewwl00se is just hanging out with these binoculars, just straight up zoomed in, not even moving at all, actually. If they were at their computer at all, if they weren't even there, it would look exactly the same. They are just honed in on the back of this party. There's a little movement now.
Back under 2 minutes. Pofke finally steps in for this contact. Not that many people chatting, though. This could be a bad time for it. Takes a drink, even more people leaving conversations. This is rough.
It's hard to see how we finish here. So the question is, do you have a good sense of who Skrewwl00se might consider shooting?
Well, the back conversation finally filled up. Here's the contact coming off. No SDA at the front and no real DA at the back anymore.
It does nothing but knock out 4 to 5 people, including 2 of them highlights. Smallman should have been one of them, but gets missed.
Hello, Ambassador. How are you?
You could pat the bookshelves here with a good bug.
We got the bug!
The hand snapped back. It's visible, but I don't know if it was seen. Visible and seen, not the same thing. And that missed low light on Smallman still looming large. That opens things up a little bit, but they still need 2 missions in less than a minute.
Time is definitely the enemy here for Pofke. Under 50 seconds now. Green Purloin coming off from the back. That could be huge as we step out towards the front.
Yeah, but the problem is you're looking at 2 more hardtails. You're looking at doing 3 hardtails total. Even if you get away with the Purloin, you get caught for the swap or vice versa.
Well, it is going to be the swap, it looks like. 30 seconds. White swap underway. We haven't had the Purloin yet. This could be so good. There's the Purloin. The swap isn't gonna even have a chance to be seen as Skrewwl00se takes the shot and game number 1.
I thought maybe the Purloin was clean and the swap was going to ruin it. It was the exact opposite. Doesn't even need to see the swap. Sees the Purloin, catches it. Skrewwl00se is on it, focusing on the back. Ended up working out for them. Give up everything in the front, but they catch the big moment when it matters. They catch the Purloin into statues. I'm kind of amazed Pofke got to pending there.
Yeah, I am too. It was a rough game on Spy, but it almost worked out. But 3 hardtails is too many.
It's too many, maybe too many. And Skrewwl00se, though, showing really good discipline on the sniper. That is really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Either way, Skrewwl00se getting ready to step into the Spy side of things. Pofke on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing.
Oh, do they want a bug here? Why else would you go here? That was a pretty significant redirect. I guess they just didn't want to go outside.
Either way, Ambassador does not cooperate, and now we're going outside. I think he didn't want that, that bug.
I guess so. Ooh. Pretty solid there. It's a reasonable delay. I don't see any major problems with it. Maybe it could be a little bit longer.
The major problem I'm seeing with it is we haven't been able to get progress.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Sorry's going to take this spot.
No, he got there first.
Here we go, and Sorry says, no, I'm good. I'll still take it.
Sorry was too slow.
She's literally breathing down his neck.
That's fine. We have a flirt. It's 51%.
Kind of a third wheel here, Sorry, with you and your seduction target. Take a hint. So after all that, we've got 1 flirt, after a lot of walking around. Did not get a low light for that little maneuver, though. Pofke does not reward it.
No time, man. I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't get that, actually, because it was a slow start. White test on the second brings us up to 82%, which, I mean, it is possible to not finish in 3, but I would be very impressed.
All right, breathe deep, Tobo. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. Take it easy.
No, I mean, like, it would literally have to be the worst flirt in the game.
Oh, I know.
I would applaud if that happened.
Would you? Maybe you'd scream and then applaud. You'd have to be forced to applaud, but your initial emotional reaction, I think, would be to shriek. Yes.
Actually, I think my initial reaction to that would be to burst out laughing.
2 99s in one night? I hope not, for your sake.
Well, like, just the setup for this one would have been completely absurd. We got a fingerprint at statue, by the way, so that's a fingerprint and 2 inspects done. But
know
look at
me.
the clock. We don't have a single completion yet, and we're under a minute and 10.
And that was a difficult fingerprint to try to get that first single completion. It does not take, though, and they leave with the book, too, so I think they're thinking, because the fingerprint didn't take, now I'm going to have to put this in blue at some point. But after a flirt, oh, I don't know about this. Too long.
Yeah, this is not happening. There's no way. I refuse to believe this is going to happen. I refuse.
No, what, no.
Oh, God, that was a rough entry.
So we accomplished the flirt, and we maybe clean the book? Is that still a thing?
Well, we may have cleaned the book, but we did not get enough from this. Your fingerprint, that's something. If we... There's no way we... Hey?
Are we going to finish with just 2 inspects? Are you going to dump the book and then inspect? I don't think you're going to have time. This is going to be so close.
This is going to have to be a bug on the way in here.
You have to.
There's no way this takes.
You have to.
Yeah, there's no way.
I think that was actually a pretty good game most of the time. There's just a little bit of wasted time in there. We saw the shenanigans going outside. No, I'm not really going outside. Then yes, I am. And then chasing the seduction target for the flirt. I kind of understand needing to finish that flirt, but here's the thing. They might come back in, and you're not as likely to get shot for a last-second flirt. When they are going all the way outside, you have to budget 20 to 25 seconds just to go out there, insta-flirt, and walk back, even if you do nothing else, if you're obvious about it. So I think some of those maneuvers just ate up too much time.
Yeah, I agree. You do not want to be caught in a place where you have to take a desperation bug like that. Now, as far as desperation bugs go, that wasn't bad. If that was Taft as the ambassador, we might have gotten away with that, but there's still a very good chance he would have died for the book.
Yeah, if you just sort of teleported any spy into that situation where they're done with the flirt out front and said, do what you can, they kind of did what they could. They finished the fingerprint, they bugged, they were about to dump the book. It was good from that point forward. The problem was getting into that position in the first place.
Indeed. Pofke now stepping into the spy side of things once more. Skrewwl00se on the sniper, and we are tied in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Spies kind of did a pretty good job to get as close as they did, but both of them had a little trouble with time, and we say this every time on Gallery, spies still underestimate how tough it is to get missions done sometimes.
Speaking of time track, we open the game with a green timeout out front.
Yeah,
nice
and
clean.
And then an impulsive bug attempt that does not take.
Well, win some, you lose some.
Yeah, I think that's a little rough. That looks like one of those things where if you had more time to think about it, you wouldn't take it. Because they didn't really set up for it. They kind of just saw the ambassador was coming. They stopped. They weren't in line for it, and they went for it anyway. I get it. It's hard to decide in the moment, but if you had more moments to decide, I don't think you could do it.
This is true. We picked up a flirt, and because we were in the middle of picking up a flirt, we couldn't pick up a bug instead. Ambassador went the wrong way, but the bug attempt was free, so sure.
Yeah, sorry, hanging around spies again, and in this case, providing a little bit of cover.
Yeah. Toby is now incoming. We might be able to get some Erloin shenanigans if we feel like. Well, the cover is starting to desert us.
Here's the question. Did Pofke watch that replay and see how long skrewwl00se spent in this exact position, though? The Amba and guest list are back there again, and skrewwl00se says, you know what? Do whatever you want out front. As long as these 2 missions are back here, that's where I'm looking. And look at this. He changes as soon as the ambassador starts to go.
This is true. Picks up a green book, gets a fingerprint from it, immediately steps back over to exactly where he was in this conversation to pick up the next flirt. Up to 68% now. Because
Our
of
oak
that
match
time at early on, we still have 2 minutes and 15.
Yeah, we've used most of it, though. And if the earlier Oak match was Bug Wars, this is Fingerprint Wars. They are fingerprinting all over the place right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a fair bit of progress, but the completions are once again a little bit worrying. The contact comes off. 1, 2, 3, 4 easy lowlights. 5, 6, 7. Oh my god!
Good job. Got almost all the available ones.
Okay. Well,
gonna-
I think we're dead.
I think they're going to wait for a clear shot. Right in the knee. You know, everyone's vulnerable spot. Kneecapped, Pofke is. It's a good move, but they gave up. Here's the thing. Normally when you trade that many lowlights, you're doing it to cover for a hardtail, and that's actually not a bad deal. But in this case, skrewwl00se gets the lowlights and gets the shot anyway.
Yeah.
I think they were expecting that.
Yeah, a little bit too much delay going into the blue bookcase, but man, all the lowlights were on that side anyways.
Yep, that's a great point, actually. While collecting the lowlights, they're already looking at the side of the venue where the spy had to go. That's an excellent point. That probably contributed to it, made the shot a little easier, but they also seemed ready for it, too. What's interesting, too, is that the ambassador had finally gone outside, and you can see skrewwl00se looking back and forth, trying to divide their attention between the list and the ambassador. That creates a lot of opportunities for the spy if they hadn't already committed to the microfilm.
Indeed. Either way, now it's skrewwl00se on the spy side of things, Pofke on the sniper, for our last game of gallery of the set. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Now, skrewwl00se, I mentioned, might have been angling for a low light with that stop outside the conversation in the front. Kind of idling out front now in a very innocuous conversation again. skrewwl00se playing very passive. I don't know if they think, you know what, Pofke's got a person who might... Time.
Oh, the bug, though, was real good.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep. Pofke's moving a little bit and seemed to be looking at the list. I really don't think they suspected even a little.
And right in the briefcase afterwards to pick up a fingerprint as well. This is a fast start from skrewwl00se. Stop. Thank you.
Like on command. That was a voice-controlled spy. Very good. The newest tech. Uh-oh, here's the problem with a fast character. You're chasing your ST and you're sort of just doing that thing where you step on the heel of their sneaker.
Yep. You're gonna get it, though. We're off camera. This is fine. 51%.
Hey, that helps. And with the fingerprint, too, this is looking pretty darn good. How's skrewwl00se want to finish? Do they want to go get an inspect right now if they can't get a flirt?
This could be a really fast game if we're able to keep this going.
If you hit this flirt...
Another flirt? Oh, it's white.
Well, at least they hung
real
around.
bad.
Yeah, I think if you go get an inspect right now, you just got to make steady progress the rest of the way.
Yeah. Under 2
Uh-oh.
minutes now.
This drink take already worries me, because it makes me think they're just going to idle a little bit, they're going to take their time, and I'm a little worried that they could give this game away if they don't make steady progress. Let's see how much idling they do.
Well, it looks like he's going out to see if he can pick up a contact here, so not too much if he has his say of things.
So we're looking at statueless here, it seems like with the fingerprint.
There's a briefcase there.
Nice.
Contacting the briefcase. Here's the BB.
Banana bread.
That's about 6 lowlights available on screen. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Iris is available still. Got most of them. Pretty decent.
Hit the contact, gulped the drink, was not able to pick up the briefcase on the tail end of it. Just
statue,
over a
though.
minute to play.
That third statue from the back, I think, still has the fingerprint on it. They clearly are trying to go statueless, but I think one visit might be okay.
Yeah, I think so.
If anything, it can be less suspicious because you're waiting. If you think they're the spy, you figure they're waiting for that second statue visit and it never comes, so you figure they're not done.
Yeah. Flirt is done. 45 seconds. What's the play here? As you were saying, we do have that fingerprint available. I think that's where he's going.
I think that's the one.
Nope. Well,
Wow! He's on him for the
Wow.
fingerprint. I don't think he saw the bug, though. I really think he was just, you know what? This seems
Yeah.
like an aggressive fingerprint. I don't think it was that aggressive, though. I think skrewwl00se played that really, really well. But I think maybe Pofke was specifically thinking they're going to fingerprint. Like, I'm inordinately watching fingerprint this game.
that was some impressive stuff. That was a heck of a shot.
It was a really good spy game and a really good sniper game. I don't know what else to say. Just, really good, steady progress from skrewwl00se, and Pofke is just knows what missions to hone in on there, I think.
Yeah. Good stuff indeed. And now we are all tied up after the first map. We're even at 2. as Pofke steps into the spy side of Modern. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Getting Modern again. So I like this because if I know KCM and Kaylee even a little bit, there's a pretty good chance, unless it's banned, that KCM might pick Modern as well, which means we might get to see it across the spectrum of skill levels from Oak to Silver to Diamond. That would be something.
Man, I'm so excited about that match.
Yeah, again, not taking anything away from this match. No offense. I'm just, I'm giddy because those matches are always insane. But the first one was pretty good, and this one's pretty good so far, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Big chase on the seduction target. And 50% on the flirt.
A lot of really good flirts here to start off with.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the percentage of green flirts to open the game.
And on Gallery and Modern, it just helps a lot. Again, pacing, pacing, pacing. I can't say it too much, although I'm threatening to.
And the end of red.
Fake contact. Oh, the reverse drive by Bug, though.
You'll trade the fake for that, especially because it was a pretty decent one. You didn't give off too many lowlights, and as far as I can tell, skrewwl00se not looking at it at all at the time. It's just kind of a weird time to bug, so no reason to go look for it.
That was a play. Oh my gosh, I love seeing stuff like that. Now we've got the bug done, 84% on the flirt, soon to be 100% at the bar here. A little over 2.5 minutes to play.
Yep, this is timed real well, and now you don't need more. You're all done with that after chasing them around. Got 2.5 minutes left, 2 missions done. One of them's a hardtail, too. You've got options.
Absolutely. Looking up a delegate. Who are we going to send after the guest list?
Yeah, this is a big decision if you're sending anyone. And you could do the real BB to cover for it, but you're going to give off more lowlights. That is the risk there. They did trade it for the bug. It worked out pretty well. Wasn't too bad. But doing 2 of them on Modern, it can be a problem.
2 minutes to play. Where are we headed? Pretty good briefcase redirect.
And now, since I said 2:30 with 2 missions done, we picked up the delegate. We've delegated to them, but a whole minute has passed. This needs to take or you're in big trouble.
It does take, but man, we have slowed down a lot. Minute and 20 left on the clock, 2 missions to go, and no progress.
Big moment. Screws just noticed the list. They weren't watching because it was delegated to a cast member. I only see 1 low light so far from it, and that's Rocker. He's either totally on this, or he barely got anything out of it, and there's just no in-between, I don't think.
Tried to get in conversation with the double agent to hold him up, but he left anyways. Now we're stuck out in no man's land, 55 seconds to play.
Here's the thing, though. Do you need to finish? Because BB has gone off, and Purloin has gone off. Is skrewwl00se going to shoot?
Green swamp!
I guess statue to statue and hope they don't notice. skrewwl00se has shown a lot of patience, so I do agree with the general position of finishing missions here. But I'm really worried about that swap here. Yep, look at skrewwl00se. He's thinking about going all the way over. Yep, he's keeping his statue ready. Yep, which means he's going to check here when Pearls picks it up if he's paying attention. He's got a good view of it.
Pofke still needs 1 more mission.
Yeah, that too.
He's going to the other side, but he's not getting there fast enough.
He kept that within view, and the second it happened, he moved over. He was completely on that. I think Pofke played a very clean first 3/4 of the game, but they just hadn't left themselves enough time to do something more innocuous.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Good shot. I'm very impressed by that shot.
Yeah, that was some powerful stuff. I think probably he was pretty well onto the Purloin.
Yeah, it certainly was narrowed down enough, and I just don't know if any of his other suspects were doing anything. So good stuff, good stuff. It's not just that he shot him that's impressive. It was a perfectly okay shot, but he was waiting for it. He went over immediately. He was ready. He was in command of that game.
And now it's skrewwl00se stepping into the spy side of things from the front. Although, generally, if you're behind, the sniper is the place you want to be. In 3, 2, 1, play it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little better this season than last, the spy win rates on upper levels on Modern, because of the extra 30 seconds. It does help, but I still don't think it's going to be spy favored. At least, let's say, maybe platinum and above.
Yeah, for it to be spy favored, it would need a shark.
I mean, there is some water there. The shark's just not going to be in a very useful place to the spy, I don't think.
Probably we need a little bit more water than that for that kind of a shark.
Yeah, yes.
Either way, stepping into the suspicion target early on in the game. Another green test, 51%.
It's like they get a free green test at the start of every game.
It's impressive stuff. We've had like one missed screen all night from first.
But I feel like a lot of the second ones have been white. Almost all of them, in fact. I mean, there have been almost no 2 flirts, despite all the initial green flirts.
Yeah, this is true.
And it's ladies' night at the bar. All 3 of them piled up, and it's going to be... Yep.
Oh!
Whoa!
Oh my! That is...
Was that deliberate?
That can't have been deliberate, right?
I'm not sure. I don't... I'm not sure who they would have been framing.
It's too early in the game for a move like that. You haven't had a chance for someone to delegate you there yet.
They were next to Alice when they left for bar. That's about it. It didn't look like Alice talked right before, so I don't think that was a deliberate frame attempt on Alice. And if it was, it absolutely did not work because Alice is low-lit and the party is very narrowed down and skrewwl00se has a mission and a half completed. I don't think they can finish this. I do think they might shoot someone else, though.
Wow, Alice just did something real rude. Did you see that?
No.
Okay, we stepped into Flirt at Windows. Flirt starts on a green test, and she just walks around us and lands on the other side.
I'm telling you, it's the rule. The first flirt is green, the second never takes. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it's got to be tonight.
It's freaking rude. All right, we're in the statues here for a pair of inspects. But because of... We got like half the party low-lit from that purloin.
We've got half the party low-lit and fewer than half the missions done. So that's a bad combination.
Yeesh. We don't even have a contact yet.
At the very least, you got to keep some of these other highlights in. But I don't think skrewwl00se has a sense exactly of what the party's narrowed down to. So
yeah. This should finish the inspects at least. Difficult fingerprint available is... Oh my gosh!
That's what happens. That's the only way I think they were going to finish this. Just not confident enough. The purloin, so counterintuitive, the timing, that they're just not sure. They narrow the party down effectively, but then they just, I think, overreact a little bit there and think, well, the fingerprint's done, but what else are you thinking you missed at that point, you know? There hasn't even been a banana bread yet.
What happened?
That's a pretty aggressive shot, I think, but counterintuitive plays lead to counterintuitive results sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's tough. When something like that catches you, when you get blindsided by something like a purloin that doesn't make any sense to you, you start to assume, well, I just must not have a sense of this game. I must have missed something, because why would they do that? So the unusual play is almost inherently justified simply by virtue of being unusual.
Either way, it worked out this time around, one way or another. And now it's Pofke back on the spy side. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yep, sometimes you just do stuff and it works. I mean, there's not a whole lot else to say.
This time we're opening up, with an immediate transfer. And, oh, this is fine. This is fine. I'm confused.
I mean, it's done. The mission is done.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's that. These are some really aggressive spy plays.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you remember how I
can't tell if that worked or not.
I can't either. You know how I went on and on about how pacing is super important and you need to space out your missions? Sometimes maybe you can just do it immediately and see what happens. But
yeah,
microfilm's not going to lead to a civ shot, though. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, as far as we can tell, that came off clean.
I think it might have. I mean, if there's enough activity going early on, the counterintuitive play sometimes is to grab the book. A lot of very good spies do it.
I think, okay, I'm going to say I think what happened there was he went from blue to green, was seen at green, and he tried to mark the book but accidentally low-lit him instead, then the book went back.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good theory. I definitely accidentally low-light people when I'm trying to mark books sometimes. On the other hand, that would be the wrong way to mark green because you would low-light with a right click, and to mark green, you click once with a left click. But that could have been a mistake because the marking book cycle, it's not something everyone's particularly great at.
Yeah. Either way, second flirt brings us up to 75%. We have the transfer done. We have the contact done. Contact only let off 2 lowlights, by the way, as well. Pofke's moving.
Yeah, this is a lot of progress. It helps when you have such a fast character.
This is very true. 2 minutes left to play now, stepping in for the last flirt. This is looking pretty strong.
Yeah, but what's it gonna be last when you get that fingerprint? Direct purloin? You're not even a suspect yet, actually, so that might work. They're only gonna have 10 seconds to decide if you do it. I kind of like these options. Or the ambassador gives you a nice little opening in the last minute or so, but you can't rely on that.
Yeah.
You also can't rely on them giving you a fingerprint soon.
Well, we'll see what happens. On our way to the bar, it looks like. There's a lot of people here, though, so we might be waiting a while, which is worrying.
The fact that the fingerprint isn't done makes me think this is going to be a delegate instead.
We just demanded.
Demanded and instant purloined without fingerprint done? That... Adamantly, you do this because...
what is happening in this game, Track?
Oh, skrewwl00se is shaking that camera. They're like, what on earth is going on? They don't know what's going on either. They're not sure when the list was gone in that pile-up because it was so busy. They don't know who did it. They're not even really looking at Pofke. Pofke is hidden entirely from the sniper's view behind that pillar, and now they've gulped the drink. But skrewwl00se has generally shown that they want to hold their shot. That's been happening, so Pofke's still going to have to finish here, I think.
Maybe. Back into books for some reason. Oh, fingerprint. That's why.
This is going to finish it up, and I think it's a...
he hit the green test!
I don't know what was going to be after that because they couldn't dump the book. They already did it, but they hit the green to win it, and I don't think they were even much of a suspect there at the end.
So plays!
Counterintuitive purloins, 2-0 in this set.
What the heck was that game? Oh, that was...
I thought for sure that the plan was either...
take those.
Yeah, we'll take them. I thought for sure either the plan was to fingerprint and then direct purloin, but when they went to bar first, especially with a pile-up, I figured, okay, this is going to be a delegate, and then you delegate and you go get your fingerprint instead. Instead, they just do it, again, at a very counterintuitive time, and skrewwl00se shook their camera as if to say, what? What on earth? When did that happen? Why would that happen? But holds the shot correctly, at least, so that was not the final mission. That part's good. But if you're Pofke and you're looking at these replays and these hold shots and all that, you are realizing you're going to have to get missions done. They do. They hit the AT when it counts.
Absolutely. And now, it's skrewwl00se stepping back into the spy side of things. 3, 2, 1, playing it.
That's a big one for Pofke. They avoided dropping down to 5-2 there. Now sniping for the tie.
That is big, big, big.
But both spies have shown really good sense so far, have played some pretty darn good games. Skrewwl00se, obviously, I mentioned that last one, played really strong on Gallery. Grabs a green book to start here.
Slow start, in conversation with the double agent with a lot of other people, but too much movement.
Banana bread.
Now that it settles down, we take it and split right into blue bookcase. We've got a few low lights, but it covered pretty well for the... Oh! What? Okay.
And that seems like a standard. I don't know where you got that book highlight.
Yeah.
And also left very quick. They were trying not to be seen there. So that's kind of all or nothing, because if you are seen there, you have increased your suspicion by leaving quickly, right? If you're not seen there, it helps that you left quickly. In this case, they were seen there, and Skrewwl00se, I think, is probably in pretty big trouble here.
Yeah, I think so. It looked strong, but from the reaction that Pofke gave us, I think he's on top of things.
Interesting to note, by the way.
Is 28%, which is suboptimal.
Pofke, by the way, did not play Modern in Season 4 at all.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Now, came in late, only played 21 spy games in general, but still, yeah.
Looks like we're heading to statues here.
We've had a paucity of statue visits on a lot of these Modern games, but
Indeed.
looks like we might try to get one here. Is finishing in spec suddenly the counterintuitive play? Maybe.
Well, we only got one there, interestingly enough.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a huge problem with it if you're hoping on finishing anyway. I just don't see a lot of downside. Maybe just rushing to get the next thing done. For example, if there's a print here at bar, they might be anxious to get there first. Stuff like that. That's generally the only time I could think of where it would make sense.
Flirt goes up to 62%, which is not enough. We are going to hit a green. We did grab a delegate from the bar, but with only 2 minutes to play, we're a little bit strapped for time. It's a difficult fingerprint and hits it, though. That's big.
That's why they one-cycled at statues. They thought, you know what, there's a printed bar, I gotta hurry up and get there. And it pays off. Big ATs at big moments.
Absolutely. That could be Skrewwl00se's ticket back into this game. It's still going to be tough. That wasn't a bad bug, but it wasn't good enough. Pofke brings it back even.
And not a bad game from Skrewwl00se, but I think watched really closely for that microfilm early on is basically what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's Modern. You win as spy by blending into the crowd because there's so much going on. If you allow the sniper to if you give them a good reason to want to watch you specifically, suddenly it becomes very obvious you're the spy because you're probably bouncing around like a pinball.
Yeah, that's the thing about Modern. Once you're on the radar, it is almost impossible to both get off the radar and still be able to finish missions.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why we saw some of those spy wins earlier came from civ shots. It didn't come from mission completes as a suspect.
Yeah. Even at 4, heading into Ballroom, any 4 of 8. This is a very different feeling map. You've got a lot of cover available. You've got more time on your hands. Let's see how Pofke plays this. In 3, 2, 1, play it.
And that's 2 in a row from Pofke to bring it back there. And we are all even up on one of the most even competitive maps ever, really, in Spy Party. It's almost exactly 50-50 year after year.
Oh, no. Selection target didn't hang around long enough for the seduce to come off. It's okay, though. It was a white test anyways.
And let me just read this off real quick. Season 1 Ballroom, 53% for spies. Season 2, 50% for spies. Season 3, 51% for spies. And Season 4, 50%. So this is held up pretty well. Again, it's the original new art map, and it was the original old art map. It was the only map available for a while, and it's the one I played the most on when I first joined, and it's held up after all this time.
It's the original map, full stop. 34% on the first flirt here. Back into conversation with him, looking for another one as soon as his timer expires.
Not a big surprise that the map with the most playtesting in the game's history is one of the most balanced.
Another white test brings it up to 68, so we're going to have to get snuggly for the last one as well if we want to be safe about it.
Does General look like a snuggly guy to you?
most of these people don't, to be fair.
That's true.
Although if I could do it with the dog, I'll be real happy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, these are all very severe-looking men and women in this party, actually. Very serious-looking. Lighten up, guys. It's a party. Party where people die.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we went there. Under 2 minutes to play. We don't really have much going on, actually. Contact finally comes off as we split into Seduce, so that's a couple of missions real quick back-to-back.
That's the thing, when you set it up right, you can go from 0 missions to 2 missions in 10 seconds, and that's just what happened, and we're halfway home on Ballroom with 1.5 minutes left.
And 1.5 minutes is plenty of time. Haven't been to statues yet, though. 1:15 now. Clock is starting to tick down.
This really feels like they want a bug. Based on the lack of time, because it's hard to imagine they're going to do something else. It could be inspected into Purloin, but it really feels like they want a bug. But Skrewwl00se... Yeah,
definitely looked like he was gunning for the Caneside bug along the green bookcase there, but saw Skrewwl00se's rotation and had to bail on it.
Right. Skrewwl00se was recognized that the Ambassador was vulnerable. They had their camera in a really good preemptive position there. That was actually really good mechanical sniping right there.
Yeah. It's fun to see those little interactions. It's going to be the Purloin. It's going to be a white test. Does he see the tray? I don't think he's noticed yet.
I think he's more worried about the Ambassador. I don't think he has noticed yet, and I think he's held his shot so often, but can you really do it on Ballroom this late with a Purloin missing?
But can Pofke finish missions?
I think
I
normally...
I don't think he's seen the Purloin. I don't think he's noticed.
He might not realize that he should theoretically have to shoot, and Pofke, this might not work. He's going to crash
the bug at the end! It doesn't take! Almost a missed shot at Pearls at the end there.
I think this is one of those things...
What a weird finish!
I think you're right. I really think that... Oh my god. I think he didn't see the Purloin for a while, and if he had, probably would have shot.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure one of that Purloin was trying to induce a shot, and it just never got caught.
You know that old pointing to your temple meme? Yeah. Can't lose to Purloin frame if you never look at Purloin. My god.
Wow.
That might be really unfortunate.
Yeah.
That might be really unfortunate. I'm not sure. Now, he might have just had a really good sense of the game and he didn't even think he was done, but that's a little tough to believe too. That's hard to be confident about that. But Skrewwl00se's default position has been not to shoot all match. They've been very passive like that. So I kind of question the decision, even in that scenario where a lot of snipers, even really disciplined ones, would feel they have to shoot. I think you have to err on the side of doing missions because Skrewwl00se has shown a tendency to want to hold that shot.
Yeah, I agree. Whatever happened at the end of that game, it didn't work out. Pofke now on the sniper side, Skrewwl00se on the spy. In 3, 2, 1, playing.
And it's Mr. Snuggly himself as the spy this time.
God damn it.
I want to start the new meta. I think he's actually a big softie.
%34% on the first flirt. We've run out of green tests, Track. We've used them all.
We've used them all. We're out. You shouldn't have spent them all right away. You got to save them. Although they did save them for those big ATs, so
That's true.
That was cool. They did spend their ATs well there. There were proposals early on for maybe the spy should get a certain number of green action tests they can use at opportune moments. That's been bandied about once or twice. Obviously did not find a lot of traction. Probably not worth it, but interesting idea. This game is early access after all.
It is certainly a cool idea. Having the micro just feels so good though when you hit a big green action test late in the game. Second flirt, by the way, was green to bring us up to 85%, which means we don't have to get Snuggly because that man is very small.
Yep, don't have to. You're in good shape here with the flirt, but you've got 2 minutes left and you haven't done anything else. If you get a banana bread, suddenly you're in a standard ballroom game.
Yep, this is very true. Stepping into side statues instead of the contact right away.
It's something.
It is something indeed.
So the benefit of doing, say, the contact late as opposed to something like inspects is that if you do the contact late, it can feel like a desperation move to induce a shot. Whereas if you go to statues late after the banana bread, that feels a little more suspicious. That feels more deliberate. So I kind of like it, actually. I think, generally speaking, spies tend to do it in the opposite order a little too often.
Generally speaking.
It's not intentional, I swear to God. It's just a good word.
It is, it's true. We were able to pick up a fingerprint on the drink, though, which is pretty big. That's a good fingerprint to get.
Yep, and there's a really good bug opportunity here leaving this conversation. Pofke's sort of camping it, but yeah, they're camping the aftermath of the bug path. The pillar's covering it, but they're staring at the other side. They want to catch the wake of the bug if they go for it, but they don't.
I think skrewwl00se knows it's too dangerous a position right now.
Kind of takes the path anyway, but does not bug. The question is, how confident are you the sniper's not going to suspect that?
Flirt is done at this point, but that's the only one. We have a fingerprint and an inspect to go, and I think it's going to have to be a swap on the end of it.
Yeah, this is pretty rough. We're running very low on time here, and if you want a time ad, you're 8 seconds away from, as you call them, the beep beeps. Got to do it sooner rather than later. And I don't know about this timing.
Here. It's center statues. We can't swap this because we don't have enough missions.
You can green swap into a BB
Well,
and the BB.
No, we just did it.
That might have been the plan. The plan might have been green swap, and while it's pending, go either fingerprint or BB. And if you BB, it distracts from the swap a little bit too, especially if like a low light picks it up or something. But that still requires that you hit the action test if that was indeed the plan. Or you bug on the way in and you do everything at once. I don't know. But I think in that case, the only thing that makes sense to me is planning for the green test and missing it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Even then, that's not a position you want to wind up in. You never want to be. You never want to have to hit a green test to win.
Right.
And even then, it wasn't like it would have been a gamble.
Yep. And now we're tied at 5-5 headed into courtyard. And I like the way Noob put it at one of our earlier casts. When you're tied 5-5, individual games are points. If you win 2, you get 2. If you win 1, you get 1. So every game is a standings point, which makes these really, really important games.
You are not wrong. Pofke is the first one under the gun. Skrewwl00se on the other side in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Okay, we're fine.
That's a green purloin in the middle of nowhere. I think this is going to work.
I think so, too. That was
crazy.
I was so busy freaking out about the path, I didn't even notice. Oh, the bug as well! Are you kidding me, Pofke?
I doubt skrewwl00se has looked at the list yet because, hey, there's only been one drink take.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It doesn't take, though. The bug does not take. It was a good effort, but the purloin, I think, is clean. I don't think he's even seen it. I really don't. I don't see any lowlights coming off.
I think I phantomed the bug. I think is what happened.
It was a bit of a lean. Okay, so he just saw Smallman taking a drink and the list coming back up there, the tray rather. He might be onto him for that, but I think he has no idea when this happened.
Yeah, I agree. That was a clean purloin. And man, oh man, if you miss a white purloin, you are very angry with yourself. Are we gonna
throw this game away? Or is this just, are they hoping they're low lit? Sometimes when you do that instant green purloin, you assume you're low lit because that often happens, but you can see skrewwl00se has not low lit for it because they did not notice it soon enough, I think, so they don't feel comfortable with any lowlights. So this might be a thing again where you're hoping the sniper is actually more on it, and the fact that they're not hurts you, which is what we saw earlier.
Yeah, but still, don't do that!
I know.
Don't, no! That's not how you do it! Alright, we're back to the statue, though. Same one, which is a good look.
Just trying to get the flirt.
65%, still a minute to play.
Really aggressive here. I think skrewwl00se is just saying the purloin is a lost cause. And by the way, if that purloin was clean, though, why did it feel so dirty?
That
right in the middle of nowhere.
Purloin, but I really, really, really don't like the swap, but it looks like it's gonna work out. There's a no, it's not. No,
Oh no!
Track, he's on it. Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness! I think the swap is what lost it. I really
Yeah.
do. I really think the swap is what did it. I don't know if it was a misclick or if he's assuming he's low lit or if he's just trying to be hyper aggressive. Misclick feels kind of like a tempting explanation there. What's really surprising is that he waited until one more talk there at the end, I guess. Maybe confident the flirt wasn't done and just a little aggressive about it. He still had 40 seconds, by the way. So, I don't know.
It was a silent game. It's hard to shoot before the contact.
Oh my goodness. I think that's a misclick on the statue. And that's really unfortunate because I think that was basically a win otherwise.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my god, that hurts so bad.
That hurts real bad. And it's skrewwl00se has got themselves a point now. Misses one hardtail, saved by another. Don't see that much on Courtyard, and now they have a chance for a win outright.
Okay, we're on the spy side. Last game of the set. skrewwl00se on the spy, playing for the win. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
It's going to be hard to make the finals of silver where there's a really good chance it looks like you're going to be playing Dowsy anyway. But still, skrewwl00se needs this a little less than Pofke. Pofke now is guaranteed to get 1 point at most, and they really need that point. This is a huge game for Pofke.
Absolutely. First flirt, that's bad. It's 19%.
Well, if you were saving your greens, I wouldn't have spent it there anyway.
That's true. Not a good value proposition. Their cooldown expired and we're stepping in for a second. This will. Oh, come on!
I like the way she specifically even cut off his path there at the end. That was nice.
Yeah,
That was
I know.
As if to literally slap him in the face.
She even teased him right at the beginning of the game where she like walked right up next to him in a conversation and then just didn't stop.
Yeah, so now this has already gone bad enough on the flirt. There's a minute 50 left. You have to be thinking about ways to get a civ shot or complete without flirt. You need to be thinking about that already.
Yeah, this is,
and you can't be idling.
A bad situation. We gotta move. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Okay, so backup plan. I feel like you need to be on plan B already. Now you really do. The flirt is either
there it is. There it is. That's plan B. Green time ad. And we're on the wrong side of the conversation for the flirt again.
Oh no. Is this gonna be the world's lowest 2 flirt? Okay, that helps. 47, but that's still gonna be more flirt territory. Oh dear.
Oh my god.
Oh,
what
dear.
is happening, skrewwl00se?
Kane there. Got no game.
Alright, well now we're into statues. Minute and 45 to play.
Can you swap
it's a
twice?
difficult fingerprint. We don't hit it.
Nothing
been big.
Nothing going right this game, unfortunately. It is all falling apart. The only question is Pofke going to hold the shot if they don't finish?
It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. A very, very polite train wreck.
Very polite train wreck. You might as well be flirting with an actual train for all the good it's doing.
The conversation with the double agent, though. Minute and 13 to play. Minute and 10.
It's got to be a purloin, right?
Banana bread.
Where's the contact? Purloin? No, just a drink take.
I really thought it was going to be purloin right there. Oh, okay.
Got a
Well,
fingerprint from it.
so they're saying I missed the difficult, but I think I want to finish fingerprint anyway. Okay. All right.
Huh. All
What's
right.
with this flirt? Still
This next
determined
flirt.
to get the flirt done against all odds. I mean, not taking the hint at all.
78% after 3.
I feel like this is the sunk cost fallacy. This is no, I can save it. I can still finish it,
Yep.
dude.
Yep, 35 seconds. What's the ambassador doing? There's a difficult fingerprint available on the briefcase. There's a bug.
He saw it.
It's not gonna happen.
Pofke saves the point. He was staring at that path because Papa was walking around like, well, frankly, like he'd had a lot to drink, which he had.
What track? What was that game? What did I just watch?
You watched a very unkind party, and then Skrewwl00se saying, no, this was my game plan, and I'm sticking to it no matter what the party does. I understand that feeling, but I feel like after the third bail, you got to start thinking about alternatives. I think the last moment to save probably wouldn't have worked anyway, but your best option there was when the BB came off, you purloin as well, and then you go try to get a flirt, and then you've got some time to get the last flirt done. It's probably not going to work, but I think your odds would have been better at least.
Yeah, I think that would have been the only chance. Either way, it's 6-6 at the end, a point for both. Man, that was a game.
And Pofke could have really used a win there, but they'll take the point. They needed the point to kind of keep in it, and they got that at least. So live to spy another day.
Live to spy another day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your feature presentation.